Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Tesla report for Friday, December 29th, 2023. Let's take a look at the chart. Start with the big picture, work our way into the day itself. And you can see that the weekly channel top that has been considered a 3 to 5 week objective some 3 to 5 weeks ago has held the market nicely so far this week. And in fact, we did push through it even on Thursday, just beyond the 1% violation threshold. But as you're well aware, we need a settlement at the end of the week, i.e., today, above 261.05 by the 1% margin. In other words, if we settle today at 263.66 or higher, I'm expecting 3 to 5 months bullish continuation to 348.64. Over the next 1 to 2 weeks, 282.16 would be expected, and we could fill this widening wedge out for a few weeks before presumably continuing onward and upward to the 348.64 longer term channel top. I think 3 to 5 months would be realistic, but that is not what's happening right now. We have pushed through. This is the daily version of that same channel top. So you can see on the weekly chart, it's a little higher. The daily chart is 258.41. The weekly chart, 261.05. I have both of them here on the right. And you can see that we even closed above this channel top on Wednesday, put out a key reversal high on Thursday. So this underscores the importance of sort of waiting out the week. Especially if you're a day trader, obviously you're not waiting out the week. But if you're a 3 to 5 day swing trader, or a 3 to 5 week swing trader, or a 3 to 5 month near-term investor, waiting for that 1% violation threshold settlement at the end of the week is important. And so, if you stayed short, and you might well have because there was no solid reason to get out of a short position, or if you exited a long position you've been holding for some time, you're on the right side of the market, I think. Holding below this 258.41 to 261.05 region will keep. Let's take a look at the day itself. 252.48, simple channel bottom, able to contain intraday selling pressures, and above which we can quite easily push back into this 258.41 to 261.05 long-term resistance area. But given the key reversal high and the fact that we're right back below this channel top, this long-term resistance, I do think that we could violate intraday, perhaps even open below 252.48. And if we do break or open below 252.48, 242.66, I say is likely. This new rising 1/3 speed line able to contain session weakness. There is the possibility of a 3 to 5 day rotation upward, but I really don't want to hold out that hope. I really think that as I've been saying now for the last few weeks, that it is the testing of this channel top, which we've now completed, that allows for bearish rotation back to 235.01 over the next 1 to 2 weeks, and down to 219.45 over the next 3 to 5 weeks. And so we can bottom out at 235.01. I do consider this a 1 to 2 week target, able to contain weekly selling pressures. We could come off of this back into the upper 250s again within a week or so of trade, fill this wedge out perhaps for the next few weeks. But this longer term resistance at 258.41 is more meaningful. And having tested it, we can fall to channel support. That is, I haven't committed to it yet, but I will next week if we get some downside follow through. It'll be similar to this trend line. It'll be in the upper 170s to low 180s. And it is in reach over the next 3 to 5 months, so long as we are unable to close any week above this descending channel top that is presently at 261.05. This is your ceiling, and this trend line down here roughly is your floor if you're talking 3 to 5 month rotations. And so that is that. Let's go back to the near-term chart, 242.66, if tested today, able to contain session weakness. And if settled below, then we should, on Tuesday, test 235.01. 235.01, able to contain selling through next week. And from there, we can round back up into the upper 250s again within a week or two of doing so. But closing below 235.01 is certainly, I don't want to say expected over the next week or two, but I am anticipating over the next 3 to 5 weeks 219.45 target. And so I wouldn't fall in love with the 235.01 support level. I think it's well suited for day traders, 3 to 5 day swing traders, and that's about as much as I'll say on that. I do think 3 to 5 week swing traders can play the short side now. You may be short now or maybe looking to go short, but if you do so in this vicinity, you're anticipating the 219.45 channel bottom. That might mean reaching out for 220 out of the money, 220 strike out of the money puts that don't expire. I would go at least a month out on those, a couple of months probably better. This is rising into the 220s over the next week. And so you could reach for 225 strike out of the money puts as well. And ultimately, we just might see the upper 170s as we move into late Q1, early Q2. That would become clearly indicated with a settlement below 219.45, by the way. Right now, I call it, you should prepare for it. Attainable, allow for. If we close below 219.45, expected. Indicated. There is a difference. So let's go back to the upside today because I did cover the downside pretty well. And that is, being Friday, last day of the week, if this market closes at 263.66 or higher, 1% beyond the 261.05 channel top, in other words, that green line, then that sets up for a meaningful buy signal. And I do think over the next a couple of weeks, we should push into this 280.83 to 285.39 region, which is climbing and narrowing gradually. This is a 1 to 2 week objective. Above that 261.05 level, we could fall away from here back into the upper 250s within 2 to 3 weeks of doing so. As I said at the beginning of this video, we could fill this widening wedge out for several weeks before then presumably continuing on to the objective at 348.64, a 3 to 5 month objective if we settle today at 263.66 or higher. Until then, this is a market to be sold, or at least sold in the sense that you're liquidating a long position. Whether you play the short side or not is your call entirely. And if you're accustomed to it, then you can act accordingly based on what I've already said in this video. I'm going to leave it at that. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com for that 5-day free trial. I should be back Monday afternoon, Sunday or Monday with Tuesday's Tesla. Of course, it is the long holiday weekend, New Year's Day on Monday. You have a great holiday weekend, and I'll see you Tuesday.